Well, Irvans, look what we got here today. We got the Tank Brewing Company with us today. I'm very excited about that. Look at all these beers, beautiful people.
This is a nice surprise.
That's a beautiful thing. All right, we're here live with the Strive305 podcast. See, it sounds like I've already had a couple of beers.
Don't blame the beers.
We have our guest from the Tank Brewing Company, Stefano Medina, here today. He calls himself the marketing manager, but don't let that fool you. This one here is related to he's part of the family of ownership. So I think that marketing manager is just so people don't ask him for too many favors like I love to do. And I have, of course, my beautiful Tank shirt today representing before he says anything.
That's for the beer. I just thought that was what they call you.
Exactly.
That too. Yeah, I think the beer was named
That's a beer named after
Tico. Low calorie. Exactly. Yeah. That's what I like to drink.
Not low cal. Got it.
All right. So obviously the Tank Brewing Company, craft beer specialist, one of the best, the biggest showroom, right, out there that we have, the biggest tap room.
It's big.
In the market?
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Also, the Tank is located in District 10, which is Commissioner Anthony Rodriguez. Very important that we shout out our Commissioner, District 10. We also have, you guys opened 2014, right? I heard
we were established 2014.
So they've been around.
First year in the market, 2016. Taste Room opened 2017. It's actually our 8-year anniversary this week. We have 2 parties that we'll talk a little bit more about later. But
excellent. So yeah, they've been around more than a few Miami Minutes.
Yeah.
Which is coming up now. All right, so Coke Comply. Coke Comply. We have Coke Comply live.
Is that launch finally?
It's finally launched May 1st. Again, Coke Comply, that is very important software. That is the one you can go to the Strive305hub.com website.
Yep.
On there, you have the ability to upload any plans you have that you're going to submit to the Miami-Dade County for approval. Submit it there. You'll get a readiness report before you submit to make sure everything is good to go. Save yourself months, maybe even sometimes years in time with plans back and forth. So I just wanted to announce that really quick.
That's huge.
What else we got? Today I was sent over. We have an event coming up, or what's it called? Let me see.
Because this is the beginning of Small Business Week.
It is beginning of Small Business Week.
So
correct. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of things going on.
History Miami Museum.
Oh, okay.
The History Miami Museum in downtown. They're doing a Waves of Style kickoff. Now, why I like Waves of Style kickoff? This is basically swimwear. From the beginning, and from what I read in the press release, this is not me, we all started swimming in the nude. That's how it started. People would swim in the nude. Us, our people. It was nude swimming first. Then all the different swimwears came along. 1990s was my big era. That's when the thong in Miami was very popular.
The thongs and the mullets?
Makes sense.
And the mullets. Nice. Yeah, no mullets anymore. I just got regular hair now. But so that was back in those days. So they're doing a grand opening VIP Friday night. Go to History Museum website. I think you can register for that.
Yeah.
For the VIP. Maybe. You'll see it online there too. You can take a shot of the QR code.
It's a great space. I love the History Miami.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So very excited about that. And again, don't forget, I think that I might be featured on the thong section because there are different sections with all the different things. Very excited about that. Your father-in-law, Carlos Padron, was also a big thong user like myself.
Oh, God. I'd like to picture that, but thank you.
Well, yeah, okay, so now that's History Miami Museum.
Let's have the big quinceañera photo like they do.
Usually, I'm very surprised the entire show isn't just a picture of Tico. So
yeah, we voted on that.
There you go.
I was like, we'll do that next week.
Step forward in the right direction.
No, we're not doing that next week.
Well, since we're talking Miami, let's now go to our true professional, Irvans Augustin, which will tell us now the Miami Minute and take over this podcast before I continue to take it down the drain.
How are we doing, folks? If I get my phone to work, get my notes.
See, I told you.
Who's calling?
Tico called it.
But it's okay. We get to see the beautiful Miami Minute displayed on the screen here.
All right. Today's Miami Minute. In celebration and support of the F1 that we just had, we're going to do the Miami Minute about the forgotten speedway that almost made Miami a racing capital. Back in the roaring 1920s, a visionary developer, Carl G. Fisher, best known for creating the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, transformed Miami Beach into a resort destination, but he also dreamed of making South Florida into a winter hub for auto racing. To make that happen, Fisher built the Full Ford Miami Speedway, which is now known as North Miami Beach.
Oh, okay.
And so back in 1926, the track was really kind of an engineering marvel. It was like 1.5 miles long, oval shaped, constructed entirely of wood. And it turns banked at 50 degrees, requiring speeds of at least 110 back then for people to stay on the track. So it was known as the fastest speedway in the world at the time. The track held only one race. It was a 300-mile thriller won by Peter DePaulo with Tommy Milton, and they went at a top speed of 142 miles an hour. But just 1 month after that first race, the Greater Miami Hurricane came through and destroyed the track, destroyed the entire speedway, and it was never rebuilt. But a lot of the wood from that track is what they used to build a majority of the homes in Miami Beach at the time. And it took another 57 years before major auto racing came back to South Florida. Back in 1983, probably around the time when you started stretching out your thong there. And I was, back in 1983, it was Ralph Sanchez founded the Grand Prix Miami, and I was in downtown Miami at the time. And yeah, that's your Miami Minute.
That's pretty cool.
You're getting better at these things, Ron. This one's actually a good one.
I learned to read.
You actually finished right on Ralph Sanchez. When the Miami Grand Prix, back in those days,
Yeah.
I was still a kid, but our family printing company, did all the printing for them. We did printing
for the Grand
all
Prix?
the Grand Prix, all the races, and it used to be held on Biscayne Boulevard.
Exactly.
And during the Biscayne Boulevard times, I would get to go. So I printed, well, I can say this now because those guys are all done, but I would print all the brochures and magazines and all the tickets and all that. So 2 VIP tickets always fell into my pocket. And I always ended up at the VIP section, which you would have to take a tugboat to get from one side to the VIP, because the VIP, the only access point was through the back, right? So there was no way to walk up to it because the track would run through.
Yeah.
So we would take a tugboat to it, and I was like living like a king.
Dude,
imagine, I'm a teenager.
That is awesome.
And whoever
Did you get grandfathered into the F1? Did you go this week?
No,
Definitely not.
No.
No, we didn't get to it. But I did some in the new Homestead.
Yeah.
When the Speedway. So I got some there. But back in those days, it was great. I remember meeting Ronnie Cycli when he was a Heat player, was on that boat, that little tugboat, one of my rides. Barbara Eden, which you're not going to know who it is, but I Dream of Jeannie. She was on there.
That's your father-in-law. You'll remember.
I will.
He will. And the Jessica Rabbit, the girl, oh my God.
Jessica Rabbit?
Yeah, the one that did the one that did this thing with Michael Douglas, the one that crossed her legs in the Michael Douglas movie. Kim Basinger. Was it Kim? No, that was Sharon Stone. But Kim Basinger was on one of those tugboats as well. I remember because I was looking at it from a distance. I was terrified to get close to her. So thank you. You brought back great memories with your Miami Minute, man. I'm really loving this Miami Minute.
Glad I could help.
Oh, now I'm relaxing. I'm gonna pop open this beer. I'm not drinking. I'm just opening it and pretending to drink it.
I won't let you drink alone.
Oh,
look at that. Now we all have one. Wait, which?
By the way, I just wanted to, before you go, let me show you this. See if you can see it. Strive305 swag. We're getting branded now, buddy. We're getting this stuff pretty soon.
That's pretty awesome.
Maybe we'll get shirts one day.
Did I get one or did I only
you didn't?
one?
Oh, you didn't.
You got to share one?
I'm called lead ambassador. Only the lead ambassador.
They probably sent it for me and he just took it. And
he runs the ambassador guy. He runs us, but he doesn't get one. Only the lead guy gets one. All right, I just wanted to share it. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
And go ahead and do your thing, Irvans.
Actually, it's all Stefano. Stefano, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you guys got started in 2014,
2014,
that has to be like at least one of the first microbreweries.
Seventh craft beer brewery in Miami to go into production.
At the time?
Yeah.
Wow. And how's it been? I mean, how long have you been at the company to start?
Basically day one. I started in December 2014. We were established May or so, 2014.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we didn't have our beer in the market until 2016. We put our first beer in the market.
Wow.
And then 2017, around the same time, we opened up our tasting room.
It's amazing. Yeah. And as for you, as starting in from the beginning, as starting a business here in Miami, what was that like? Especially it was kind of a new industry because it really wasn't here for that much.
It still is.
It's still very
to
new.
be honest. Like if you go to other cities around the states that are big on craft beer, you're talking about dozens and dozens of breweries in a much smaller city.
Yeah.
So right now, I don't know exactly how many breweries there are in Miami, but it can't be more than 20.
I mean, what's required to even launch that as a business, as a brewery? Because it's different from a restaurant, and you're not necessarily so like it's very specific. And unique.
Well, you obviously need a manufacturer's license to produce beer. Then if you decide to open up a tasting room, you also need that beer and wine license. If you decide to do liquor, because obviously everyone knows Miami is a big liquor town, you would have to apply for a liquor license as well, which is not very feasible for small businesses like us because some of you may know liquor licenses are very
Yeah,
expensive.
they can be really expensive.
And also they take away a little bit from your brand, what you do, which is the beer. So we decided not to have liquor for the past 8 years,
Okay.
but we're working on something where we'll be announcing soon.
And that gap in time before you released your first beer, was that really just to launch the business, or was it really just more refining the distillery and other things like that? Or
It was mainly dealing with the city to get the
To get
warehouse.
so
Exactly.
2 years it took you guys.
2 years.
Wow. And in what aspects of the city were you having the main challenges with?
I mean, it's Miami. I can tell you all aspects, but I mean, just a lot of
Was it the construction? Was it the equipment?
construction more than anything. But the equipment obviously comes from overseas, so that also takes time. It's massive equipment. It's very like intricate equipment, so everything needs to be prepared beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
It is. We always say, or our brewer always likes to say, like a brew house is always trying to kill you. So you gotta be. That's the easiest way to put it. Like you gotta be very careful when you're in a brew house.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of chemicals. It's the grain room is like the mill room, what we call it, is extremely flammable. So it's like in a 5 to 6 hour rated fire room.
Wow.
Yeah, so like you got to be very careful. I mean, there's been stories of breweries where people burn themselves with a chemical that
They never mentioned this in any of the commercials.
Right?
yeah,
I
right.
didn't know that either.
Yeah, no, we are very careful when it comes to doing tours in our brew house because it could be very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, what you're stepping on, where you're walking.
Do you host tours?
Yeah.
Yep.
Upon request,
Yeah.
mainly because we obviously got to get someone from the tasting room to walk someone out there.
Yeah.
Or if they do it during closed hours, I myself or anyone in the team will be able to do a tour. It's a family-owned business at the end of the day, so we all wear a lot of hats in the business.
That's very
It's very impressive too. I've done the tour, and I've done it in the beginning, and I've done it recently. In the beginning, it was what are those things called? Those little
Fermenter.
one fermenter. How many you have now?
In the beginning, we had 4 fermenters, and
Right,
now
and
we
now?
have over 20 fermenters.
You see,
Wow.
it's grown.
Yeah, we've
But then-
massive.
little by little, yeah.
And then, if Tico and I wanted to launch a brewery next week, what would you recommend for us if we were trying to
Don't
the
do
main hurdles of
Definitely don't do it.
'Cause,
Definitely.
I mean, there's
don't
some
do it.
tools now, like with the Strive305 and
Yeah.
other things that might help in terms of allowing businesses to launch quicker. But
Yeah. I mean, one thing I would definitely recommend if you're looking into getting into this industry is really considering only being a brew pub. Only because distribution is where it gets crazy. I mean, it's a 3-tier system. You have to.
like in the local market or nationally, like what are you referring?
I'm talking about like just having
Just
a
local.
bar, basically brewing your own beer
Yeah.
and focusing in your tasting room, where
Like
you're
at
just
local
promoting.
restaurants, and then you walk in, they have a glass room, and
And they do their beer
right
there, exactly. Yeah, kind of like Titanic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another great spot.
Yeah. But distribution it's hard, man. I mean, you're competing out there with big brands.
How do you guys?
So-
How do you guys compete with like Anheuser-Busch and all?
Of
those?
course, yeah. So the craft beer community, I mean, people think that it's a very competitive industry amongst craft beer breweries,
Yeah.
but in reality, I mean, we're a very tight group and we all help each other out. I mean, we share stuff. Like if, for example, a brewery can't get their hands on a certain hop, an ingredient, a beer, and
Yeah.
we have a plethora of it, then we'll help them out. You get me? And
oh, that's cool.
we
I didn't know you guys like collaborated.
yeah, like in the
that
beginning, I would definitely say, and so would my father-in-law, like if it weren't for some of the owners of breweries that were open back then,
Yeah.
I don't know where it would be. Like they helped us out a lot.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Like I never hear anything.
But think
Yeah,
about it,
absolutely.
the craft beer consumer isn't necessarily 100% loyal to any craft beer brewery, whereas a Corona drinker is a Corona drinker.
Right.
Presidente drinker is a Presidente drinker.
Right.
But if you drink craft beer, you more likely than not will have Tank, but you also want to try
The other one.
exactly
Yeah.
all the other ones. So we have to do a good job as an industry to be able to promote craft beer as a whole and try to gain some market share from those big brands.
That's How can the municipality or city or county help?
I mean, I think the main way that
as part of that
they could help would be spreading the word, marketing, promotion. Because at the end of the day, we are small breweries, like small businesses. We don't have the budget like these brands do to promote and throw money at all events around the city. And Miami is a very expensive city. It's a very sexy city, so they can charge an arm and a leg for any sponsorship. So for 8 years, our way of getting our beer out there was mainly doing events. So we would do in-kind donations, and we were just trying to get liquid to lips. Yeah, and it worked out for a very long time. I mean, it wasn't up until recently that we kind of cut down on that, just like because
in terms of giving out
in-kind donations, exactly. Mainly because at the end of the day, it's a business. There's been some big changes in our brewery and internally, and we're now restructuring everything, and we're focusing on owning Florida with Miami as our home base. So we're going to be pushing Miami a lot. We're already in Orlando, Tampa, and different parts of Florida, but there's just so much room for opportunity here in Miami, that
especially with some of the events, especially like next year coming up and the World Cup and those.
Definitely. We do a lot of stuff with sports, man. Like, we were very lucky to have been approached by the Miami Marathon a couple of years ago. Our good friend Frankie Ruiz. He helped us out. He actually puts together our 5K that we do every year. And
do people drink and jog at the same time?
Drinking what?
And jog at the 5K?
You can walk.
If they want to,
You can walk and drink.
I
recommend running, then drinking. I did the 5K once.
You did?
Yeah. And I decided to do a full sprint at the end.
He came last in his age group.
This is incorrect. He came second in my age group, but I did decide to sprint like an idiot.
He lied about his age.
No, I did. You're going to laugh. You don't know this. I decided to sprint at the end to see how many people I can pass as I'm getting the end. And as I'm running through the end, they're giving out the medal. I grabbed the medal and I ran straight to the bathroom. Right where you see Al Pacino there on the wall. Straight to the bathroom, straight to a stall. And I was holding myself up, just waiting to see if I was going to throw up or not. But I almost passed out. They had to come in and get me out and pull me up. I never passed out, but I came close.
So no drinking.
No, I didn't.
No drinking.
That was without drinking.
We're talking about.
This was without drinking.
That was without. That was just me trying to be
5K here.
Yeah, we're talking about a 5K. It was horrifying.
You can go. But anyone can go and run.
Speaking of, you guys were talking about events, and you were talking about how you all promote each other. If you go to the 5K event, which this year is on
December 6th, if I'm not mistaken, it's the first year we do it in December. We usually do it in September, October, which is the tail end of hurricane season. Right. So we got
it's always on. We've been rained out a bunch of times. Yeah.
Every single year. I started saying that if it didn't rain, I would be very concerned because it was going to be a bad year. But
the event,
it always ended up being great. Like 1 year specifically, 2 years ago, I think it was. Because we usually get rained on right before it starts. So it's a nightmare for all of us.
Like at the beginning of the
exactly.
Of the event.
Once it starts, beautiful. But there was 1 year that it rained so hard that the streets were just completely flooded. And we were about 1 to 2 minutes away from having to cancel because with permitting and all that stuff, you only have a certain time frame to do this. And if it gets too dark, you can't run. We're probably I don't want to say the only night race in Miami, but we're one of the, which is why people always love it. Usually you have to get up at 5 a.m. to go run.
Oh, you guys do it in the evening?
Yeah, we do it at 6 p.m. because we have an after party after in the
That's cool.
in the tasting room. But that 1 year, I mean, water was up to people's knees, and we were very concerned we would have to cancel. We made the call. We said, let's do it. And I would say 1 to 2% of 450 people left. The rest ran it. They didn't care. They were like, let's do it. We're already here.
Run it in the rain.
And it was really cool to see, yeah.
Well, like I was trying to say, but he keeps cutting me off, and I know what the reason is. He's doing the race this year the same day we're doing a 25-year anniversary party for the town of Miami Lakes.
Oh.
And we want to have a beer garden. And of course, I went to the tank.
Don't put me on the spot. Don't put me on the spot to get your way.
We can't do 2 events at one time because we're doing our race. How does that make any sense? So I'm saying right now today that they will still be at the Miami Lakes event, even with a side tent. I'll man it if I have to. I'll wear one of your shirts.
Why don't you take these beers right here?
Fine.
Yeah,
he will do it.
I'll do it.
It's going to cost him double now.
But I want a tank, and I want a medium size shirt, one really tight one. But not only that, but you guys always have at your races all the other breweries or a bunch of other breweries, not just them, which
so
again goes back to how they all support each other. Because I found that to be surprising when I was walking. After
how many other industries really do that?
Yeah,
not very many. I mean, when I first came into this industry, I almost found it weird that everyone was so nice. Like, I was like, "You're supposed to be my competitor. Like, why are you helping me out here?" But
what's your angle?
Very shortly after that, I understood.
That's very cool.
No, that's great. I saw that when I came out after I almost passed out in the bathroom, and I started walking around. I'm going, wait a second. I see all the other breweries have stands here as part of the race. So it was and then the party, of course.
Now we switched it because that event is a little bit complicated for the brewers to set up and be out there for so long and stuff like that. And we feel bad. So what we did is that one, now we're bringing in more sponsors and like activations and stuff like that for the race itself. But we do another one called Lagerfest in the summer.
Which includes all the other.
So all the breweries in Miami are the ones that have
so he just told us
we should have them, you guys should be part of the Strive305 ambassador group.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, I think that's the entire goal of why we even participate as part of being Strive305 ambassadors is to create a more cohesive network of small businesses. How do we support each other, and how do we kind of help all of us kind of not just survive but thrive, right?
Yeah.
And like one of the questions I was thinking about is like for you, like with all this conversation of tariffs or recessions coming and all that kind of stuff, like how does that affect your industry?
That definitely affects us. Funny enough, we just came back from Indianapolis. Funny you mentioned the Indy 500. That's what Indianapolis hangs their hat on. Like, kudos, because it's pretty cool. But we were at the craft brewers conference all week, and I was excited to go because that's where you get to meet with suppliers and everyone who you can honestly meet in person. I mean, this whole COVID thing now, doing everything over Zoom, like drives me nuts. So it was very exciting to go and meet in person with all our suppliers, potential suppliers, be able to get quotes and information and stuff. But a lot of these suppliers get their stuff from overseas. And I mean, aluminum cans specifically, they usually come from China or Canada. So now with all this happening,
twice as much or 3 times as much for it.
And the car industry started contracting basically all the aluminum available in the United States. So that drives up the price for aluminum.
Are we going to start getting beer in cardboard boxes now?
I mean, in bags, like the wine bags? No, absolutely not.
Little beer boxes.
But no, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to be too bad for the cans because we have found some local options, which is good. At the end of the day, I think it's a blessing in disguise because I would love to be able to source absolutely everything from the States. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there's so much available outside of the U.S. that we like to say that we're locally brewed, globally sourced, because a lot of ingredients and stuff come from overseas, Germany, Australia.
Since you're talking about the different cans, why don't you tell us what we got here today? Because I see we have 3 different.
All right,
3 different beers. Right now you have how many?
I mean, we're gonna stick with 3 flagship beers. Those are the ones that we have in the market that you can find at your local watering hole, any supermarket. Playita is our number 1 front runner. Yes, sir.
Hop accented pilsner.
Well, it's a pilsner. We're gonna remove that hop accent because at the end of the day, it is a true style pilsner. Very light, very crisp, refreshing. It's a perfect beer for beach and specifically Miami weather. All of our beers we did with our weather in mind.
Yeah.
Basically summer year round. So you want something that can be crushable, approachable. You try any of these beers, I mean, even our IPA, which is a style that could be considered strong or very crafty or whatever. I mean, you give that to a non-craft beer drinker and a lot of them are very surprised because it's very well balanced, approachable. It's not too bitter. So that was our idea with our flagship beers. Freedom Tower is a special beer. That's the only American amber ale brewed here in Miami. Very popular style. I mean,
you should talk to the Freedom Tower. They're actually
we're
renovating this year.
Yeah, we do events with them all the time.
Yeah,
it's funny because at first we were scared that we had used the name Freedom Tower. We didn't even want to like approach them. We didn't want them to even know about it.
Oh,
We
like
thought they were
copyright infringement type of thing?
exactly. And then all of a sudden they reached out. I was like, oh man, here we go. And they were like, we love your beer, we love the name, da da da. I was like, amazing. So now we can do stuff together. So since then, several years back, we've done a lot of events there at the Freedom Tower.
And what's the third one?
El Farito.
El Farito.
El Farito is an IPA.
Yeah, IPA.
Yeah.
The Lighthouse here.
You mentioned the strongest one of the three.
Yeah, 6.8% ABV, 5.1, 5.3.
Of course, that's the one I'm drinking.
Yeah, I made
Right, not the
sure.
drip,
I made
the
sure
drip.
he got the strongest because he's the lightest weight.
Hence the Loca. Which
Yeah,
is
that's
another
why.
one
Yeah,
that we-
Loca what was. We don't do it anymore.
Oh, you don't?
R.I.P. Loca. Yeah,
It's gone?
Yeah.
So my beer is gone.
You
My low
didn't
calorie
get-
is gone.
yeah.
Thank God I
Gotta
have a case of it.
Drink more,
There you
dude.
go. I know.
gonna
that's
hold on
right.
to it
We
and
made
sell
it for
it.
him, and he didn't drink it enough.
Didn't
For it.
drink
Like
enough
it
to
wasn't
sell it.
worth it. No, that was a great beer though. It was a cool. Beer.
Yeah, because it was light, low cal,
Yeah,
but
low
it
calorie.
didn't taste.
No.
Low
So
cal.
yeah,
Let's drink
the
it.
idea with that beer was to basically make a low calorie beer that still looked, smelled, and tasted like craft beer. And I think we hit it on the spot. But these three are our flagship beers. This is what we're gonna push the next several years with, especially with Playita.
Which one do you drink?
I drink them all. In the tasting room, we have 18 beers on tap at all times
18?
that we brew.
Wow.
All of them. Our brewers are.
And you guys have a restaurant?
Yes,
option too?
and we're actually our kitchen.
Where is
has-
that?
Right there in the tasting room. It's on 72nd Avenue, which is Milam Dairy,
Mhm.
and Northwest 51st Street. So
okay.
right by the airport.
Yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah, it's when you think of it, it could sound like complicated or far to get to, but it's super easy to get to. You hop on the Palmetto, you get off either on 36 or
right there by the
58,
airport.
and it's right there. Yeah,
And there's usually low traffic at that time
Yeah.
you're going to go. So it's perfect.
and it's funny
Oh,
because
and
we're
events.
in. What about them?
They have two big rooms for
Yeah.
events all the time.
Yeah,
And
so,
I bring this up
Oh, you hold
Because-
host events.
Yeah, so we host events, we do private events, we also have. We can still claim it because I haven't heard of anyone else, but we're the only brewery with a cigar lounge within the tasting
That's
room.
cool.
that's
Our
right, the
background
cigar
is
lounge.
we come from a
Forgot
cigar
that.
background, which is pretty cool too. I mean, I grew up in the DR, and weirdly enough, my best friend, I consider him my brother. His family owns Presidente, the beer, and La Aurora cigars in the DR. So I
You've
was
been around beer your whole life, dude.
and cigars. I was around beer and cigars my entire life, and I always
I
found
was on
it
the other
such-
side of the island. Should have called me.
I know, right?
Married into it. Nice.
Yeah,
The-
and then randomly, I just happened to be in it, end up in both industries.
How funny. Again, back to the events.
Yeah.
I literally have someone that talked to me this weekend or yesterday about hosting an event at the Tank. And I said, oh, funny enough, I'm on a podcast with him tomorrow.
Nice.
So I have an event for you I got to connect you to.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of events. And it's funny. You've had is it the Archdiocese? Is it-
Oh yeah,
The
that
Archdiocese host events
that
at the
was
place.
really cool. Yeah, that
You
was.
got beer with the Pope?
I did it myself, but those were some pretty cool events, believe it or not. And they like played along with the whole theme. Like they named the event "A Priest and a Nun Walk into a Bar." Dot dot dot.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
a wide range of
It was
events.
cool, yeah.
You can do high school reunions.
You can do high
college
school
reunions.
You can do. We've even had weddings there. We've had and you name it.
Do you have any
We've
events
had
coming up?
we have some. So we started doing the wrestling events
Oh, that's right.
with the CCW.
And you had didn't you have a truck? You had Jeeps in there or something at one
Oh
point.
yeah, we've done car meets with Jeeps.
That's
We
how
put
big
them in
the
there.
space inside is that big.
We can
You
also
bring
get them
bands?
for the Strive305 the Power Day
Yeah.
on May 16th.
Yep.
We can
them
we can
there.
check to see if
So that leads us to the point of Strive 305 and how it can help a small business like the Tank. We have an events page.
Yep.
The events page is, for networking, which that's what you do when you go to an event, a party,
Absolutely.
a 5K, anything. And I did it this morning. I went on. I go, let me search on our events page. I put 5K, nothing. I put brewery, nothing. No. So
you
That's
can be
where-
the first. We can start
that's
loading them up.
where.
send me your 5K event. I'll get that loaded up
Yeah.
within a day on the
And
website.
business. We can put that on the
Yeah,
website.
and they could
also.
be,
another. It's just another option for promotions.
No, definitely, and that's where I think
and
you
I
guys
think
can help
that's-
most, especially for breweries, is spreading the word.
Yeah.
We have, like I said, this week is our 8-year anniversary and we have 2 events. We have a very exclusive beer dinner, which is on
Yes.
Wednesday. That's
I was trying to get a free invite, but I didn't get any, so I'm not going.
It's 20. It's 20 seats. You think I'm gonna give this guy 1 seat?
It's just wrong.
Just pay for it.
Maybe after this, I will.
Well, maybe
Just
Um,
if he drinks 3.
yeah,
he will,
right. Yeah,
that's not gonna. Oh, maybe.
but we have the beer dinner on Wednesday. There's about, I think there's like 3 or 4 seats left out of 20, so it's a really cool experience. It's our second one in the series of the 2025 beer dinner series. And this one's gonna be themed around our anniversary.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday we have our anniversary pachanga, which that's a
What is
party.
that?
A
Oh,
party.
that's a
It's
party.
exactly what it sounds like.
See, that should be on the events page as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
So
what you
that's,
should go to.
well, I sent you both
Skip the
links. You
dinner.
gotta
Go
put
to
them
that
on
one,
there,
Tico.
yeah.
Go to the pachanga.
Yeah.
I'll send it. This is this Saturday.
And they both, I mean, the pachanga, which is obviously a much bigger crowd, they're
What time does that start at?
12 Saturday.
Oh, 12
and it's
p.m.
all day. Yeah.
Is it open to the public, or you need?
You need a RSVP.
Register.
If you don't RSVP, it's a small fee, like $10 at the
Oh,
door.
so if your RSVP is free?
Correct.
Oh, we're hearing that, people RSVP for free.
RSVP for free.
Yeah. No, but it's shown a lot of traction. Like we have like 200 RSVPs so far, and you know how people are. People
Yeah.
don't really RSVP unless they're
Right.
No,
really
that's
going.
great.
So
Thanks so much for coming on the show,
Absolutely,
guys.
man.
This
Thank
is
you
great.
guys
We'll
for having
definitely
us.
have
It's my
to have
pleasure.
us back and hear how some of these races turn out and stuff.
yeah, man, you guys are more than welcome to come.
Oh, very exciting. Well, again, thank you. Thank you, Irvans. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Big thank you again to Mayor Daniela Levin Cava for kicking off this initiative and for giving us this ability to talk and promote the small businesses around town. Thank you, Anthony Bonami, one of our leaders, and the one that we never mentioned, of course. Thank him to Manny Sid.
Manny? Yeah.
All right. Thank you. See you guys next week.
Take it easy.